Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another one of our classic movie reviews. We are just expert movie reviewers, I'd say, at this point.
We are very good at it.
And some people turn to like Roger Ebert, or maybe not anymore since he died, but all those fancy film critics, and they think, oh, they know what they're on about. They don't. We are the ones that know what's up.
We are infinitely more knowledgeable.
Yeah, if you want a proper review of any movie in the world, we're the ones you come to. Yeah?
I think that's how they do it, yeah.
Yep. And I've done most like I do with women. I've promised things which I cannot deliver.
I was wondering where you're going with that for a second.
Yeah, just it's going to be a decent review. I'm backtracking awfully now.
Yeah. No, it's a good review because I think you and I are on the opposite sides of the fence on this one.
We are. Now, rather than reviewing one movie on its own, we're going to review a trilogy, which is John Wick. So we're going to talk about John Wick chapters 1, 2, 3. There is a fourth one coming.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, there's going to be even more.
Is that why you put 4 pictures up? Because I was wondering.
Well, I just wanted to get as many pictures of John Wick just looking awesome as possible.
All right, then.
And he does. He looks cool. Keanu Reeves is one of the coolest guys on the planet. Like, he is immense.
Yeah. He is cool.
And from what I hear, he seems to be a genuinely good guy as well, which makes me enjoy his movies even more.
Yeah, that is what the... He's had a bit of a difficult past, though, hasn't he?
I think his girlfriend, wife died.
Yeah, something like that. I'm not even going to pretend to know the whole backstory. But,
nah.
He's kept himself very humble out throughout the years, so I think that's why people like him a lot.
And he looks great, considering I think he's in his 40s, 50s. I think he's got a bit of age behind him, but
he's a lot different now because he played in
Matrix, Bill and Ted.
Speed?
Yeah, he did Speed.
Yeah, and he looks completely different in Speed compared to now.
Well, if you think Speed was 90s.
It's not just that, but he had a short hair and no beard.
Yeah, well, it was the same Bill and Ted. Like, if you ever look what he looked like in Bill and Ted, there's another Bill and Ted coming as well.
I'll be honest, I have no idea what Bill and Ted is.
You've never seen Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
No. Can't be that excellent if I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's brilliant. It really is cult classic. But it's Keanu Reeves and some other guy. I can't remember the guy's name. They're a pair of teenagers in high school, and they've got to do a report on history, and they've got to pass it, or else they'll fail. And then they get given this time machine by this guy because they need to pass their history thing. So that they can stay together in their band and create world peace through their rock and roll. I know it's ridiculous.
But you lost me on this.
Basically, they go back through history and they collect Socrates, Joan of Arc, all these historic... Yeah, whatever. They call him... No, in the movie, they call him Socrates. So I think I was doing better. They collect all these people from history and Genghis Khan and that to be part of their history project. And it's just a really funny movie. It's great.
It sounds a bit like Night at the Museum with all the historical figures.
Sort of, but it's more they're saying that they're the real things and they're bringing them to the modern day and they take them to a shopping mall and they're all like Genghis Khan, or is it Attila the Hun? But either way, he's going mental in this sporting goods place and he's whacking mannequins with a baseball bat. It's just all good fun.
How old is the film?
Oh, it's 90s.
Oh, crumbs. I don't think I'll ever go back and watch that.
I watched it when I was a kid. It's decent. Like the second one, the sequel, they die and they go to hell and they have to beat the Grim Reaper to come back to life. And they take him on in Twister and battleships and stuff like that.
Sounds like a mental storyline.
Oh, it is. It's completely bizarre. It's like a stoner comedy without the getting stoned. But they talk like stoners. They go, whoa, like that. Go, excellent. It's brilliant. It is actually well worth watching. And I've just realised that we're 4.5 minutes in and we've not even started talking about John Wick.
You got way too excited by Bill and Ted.
Which is just Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted.
He was not one of the flower pot men.
Yeah, anyway, back to John Wick.
John Wick. Now, I'm a fan of John Wick. I think they're excellent. And you're more on the other side of the fence with this, aren't you?
Yeah, I want to go as far as to say that I actively dislike it, but I personally feel that the cult classic element of it and the hype that he has does not live up. And I don't know why people have got on this massive bandwagon. I don't know. Is it just because it's Keanu Reeves?
It's the stunt scenes. He does his own stunts, which is excellent, but it's the directors are ex stuntmen, so they know how to choreograph these action scenes, and it's the action scenes are choreographed better than I'd say any other action movie I've ever seen.
Okay, so I know this is a big discussion point, and I know, for example, he's trained in jiu-jitsu and a bunch of other stuff. Side note, I have also trained in jiu-jitsu. I'll be honest, I'm low level, so I can take out you, but not a pro. But anyway,
I'm sure you give it a good
go. And I know, that the story that obviously he's been trained properly, and all the stunt scenes are very realistic. But it doesn't look to me very realistic. It almost feels cartoonish when they're going through the scenes. Have you ever seen Kill Bill?
Yeah.
So the way she goes from like killing 100 people like one after the other.
Yeah, but that's ridiculous on purpose for the sake of being ridiculous. I will admit that the stuff he does in the movie is excessive. I think the second one where they bring in bulletproof suits takes it a bit far. But the choreography is exceptional. It really is. And it's big, wide, long takes. It's not all choppy and cutty like, let's say, the Bourne movies.
Yeah,
you can follow the movements. It's fluid. What he does makes sense. He remembers to reload. He's tactical. He plans it out. And you can just see the plan all coming together. You can see his expertise. It is just this. The action scenes in it are exceptional. They really are.
I still, to be fair, I don't know why, but I do struggle with action scenes. Like I understand the technicality behind it, but to my eye, it doesn't look interesting. It just feels too much and too fake.
I mean, you could say that about any movie. It's like you could go into Harry Potter and say, "Oh, magic, too fake,"
No. Obviously, no. You're taking it too far. You're putting words in my mouth now.
I'll put more than that in your mouth.
Oh dear. Disgusting.
Only because you made it disgusting.
I don't think that's true. I think you're misremembering. Anyway, but my point is, for an action movie, with the fact that he's trained for it and all that, I don't think it lives up to it, in my opinion. I'm just not enthralled by it in the way I feel like I should be.
I think,
and also
everyone buys into. They buy into movies in different ways, and sometimes if it's just not for you, it's just not for you.
The other thing that I don't buy into is his walk doesn't look serious enough.
But that's the thing; he's not as posy. It's like, have you ever seen like Hugh Jackman is Wolverine and he's walking away from explosions, and it's the I'm the tough guy being the tough guy, and it's the cliche of cool guys don't turn around and look at explosions and that sort of stuff. They sort of do away with that here. It's more, this is just a guy who's got a pile of experience and he's just putting it into use, and he's acting like an experienced guy would. A bit like Liam Neeson in Taken.
Yeah, but I buy into that though. That looks more, I don't know how to say it.
But I feel like you're about to say realistic.
No, I was going to say, but then I don't think that matches. I don't think any of it looks realistic. If you think
they're both very similar in terms of the stuff they get up to and the stuff they do.
The other one I would compare it to would be to the first Equalizer with Denzel Washington.
Yeah, I think
his scenes, because again he's like an ex-pro or something, is going through all this, and I just feel. I think if John Wick toned it down just a bit with one after the other kills or takedowns with their opponents, I'd buy into it more. But I feel like half the movie is just running around.
So there are moments where he is taking them methodically, and it is sort of like one by one, and they're different scenes and that sort of stuff.
But it's not always never ending. He takes that 4 or 5 before he's taking like 17. I'm like, oh, well, come on.
But that's part of the appeal. That's part of why people buy into it and love it. And it's one of those things, you're just against it, and that's that.
No, because I went into it really wanting to like it. So I went in with a really positive attitude. It's not like I went into it ready to hate. I was ready to love it. For some reason, it just didn't capture me in the way it should.
It's one of those, I'd put it off for a long time, but I'd heard so much good stuff about it that I eventually went, you know what, I should really watch it. And I was just enthralled. I thought it was great. And I really like how it develops from story to story to story. Like, one is actually quite simple. It's literally his dog's been killed. He wants revenge for the dog, and he's
Wait, was
willing
it?
to take
I
anyone down for that.
I'll be honest, I can't quite remember every bit, but wasn't there someone else died before the dog as well?
His wife
Was
was
it
already dead.
right? Okay, and then
So
the dog.
he left the world of, he was basically the best assassin there's ever been.
Yeah,
Like, he was the scary guy that everyone was terrified of, and if he
and they
was after
respected him
you,
and everything.
yeah, if he was after you, you were a dead man. It was that
Yeah,
sort of thing. And then he gave it all up to be with the woman he loved. And then she went and died, and she left him a dog so that he'd have some form of company.
yeah.
And then this little, like, gangster's bratty son comes along, beats him up, and kills his dog. And he goes out for vengeance. So basically, he's after the son of this mob boss who he used to
This is
associate
John Wick
with.
1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then basically he slowly takes everyone out, kills the kids, and then ends up killing the mob boss dad. And
yeah,
that's basically the movie. Now, the second one is because he's sort of come back out of retirement, a guy who John Wick owes a debt to forces him to pay off his debt.
yeah. He's come back to get his debt back.
Yeah, so the movie is about him having to fulfill that, even though he really doesn't want to.
Yeah, he's
And
kind of
then,
forced out of retirement.
yeah, then at the end, the guy becomes a massive threat. So the guy who forced him out of the debt then orders a hit on him. So he just walks up to him and shoots him in an area where he's not allowed to shoot people.
It's the safe space where all assassins are allowed to go to and not kill each other or anything. Yeah.
Yep. So then,
so he violates like
movie,
Assassin's Code or something.
So the third movie is he's kicked out the guild. There's a bounty on his head, and every assassin in the world's after him.
Yeah, yeah.
So it does progress. It gets crazier and crazier and crazier as it goes on, as you sort of delve further and further and further into this mad world, this mad assassin's world.
Yeah. But it's weird that the entire Assassin's world is after one guy. I feel like there no other jobs on the going for you guys.
Well, it's because there are other jobs, and they show that there are other jobs. There's like a timetable of jobs, but he's top. He's like number one most wanted, and he's I think like the highest amount of money.
Yeah, the largest bounty on his head. That's
and it's like $10 million and stuff like that. And everyone's like, well, if I just put one bullet in him, 10 million.
I feel like but if you're one of those assassins, after you hear about the first 10 assassins being taken out, surely you'd be like, you know what, I'll go and do the second job and leave him alone.
It's more, I think in that world, everyone who's an assassin is like, you've got to have a bit of confidence if you're an assassin, really, don't you?
Yeah. Also, I don't feel like 10 million is worth it to try to take out another professional.
I think they try and like, some of them try and surprise him. Some of them just try and take him. You know, they're just... I mean, the movie would be pretty rubbish if they all just went, no, I don't fancy it, mate.
Yeah, obviously, there wouldn't be a movie if they did that,
yeah.
But I do feel like the third one's probably the one that I didn't enjoy. The first one I did enjoy to some extent. The second one I just felt was too repetitive. And the third one was the storyline was a bit, they sort of lost
it. The thing is, some of the set pieces are incredibly good. I mean, there's one in the second one where they're in a hall of mirrors. And, you know, there's reflections everywhere and he's trying to take them out. And it's just so well shot and so well done. That is a killer scene for, you know, pun intended. And then even in the third one, there are some great ones where he's fighting in this big, almost glass room with a lot of glass chambers and it's all bulletproof glass. Yeah. And there's a bit where he's fighting in, I think it's Egypt or Morocco or somewhere. And Halle Berry's there. She's also an assassin, and she's got 2 Alsatians, which are taking guys out. And it's just this incredible set piece.
Yeah, I remember that actually. That was actually, I think one of them got killed, didn't they?
No, they both made it.
And they both made it?
Yeah, the dog gets shot, but it's wearing a bulletproof vest, and it gets up, and it, you know, it carries on.
Happy days. Happy days.
They couldn't kill another dog. They couldn't let another dog die in that series.
Well, no, it could be a spin-off series where Halle Berry then does the same thing.
Although... obviously, he ends the first one by getting another new dog, which sort of like he keeps the dog out of danger in the second and third movie.
Yeah, puts him in a taxi at one point and goes, take him home or something.
Yeah, I've got a horrible feeling that dog's going to bite it at some point in the future. Like, we've got a 4th movie coming out, and I would not put it past them to have another dog taken out.
Yeah. But is it in the second one where he's like in like a cave? running through the cave bit.
That's brilliant, because you see him plan the whole thing out, and he's put different guns in different locations because he's planned his exit, and he knows, I will need this gun in this area, I'll need this in this area, this is the route I'm going to take, and this is where I can get them here,
that's
there,
the bit I felt they got too video game-ish, where he's just running through a narrow thing and shooting every single guy.
It is a bit video game-y, but I think you could watch a million different movies and you can spot the video game levels in it, especially things like Star Wars and all that. You can actually see the video game in front of you if you look for it in a lot of movies.
Yeah, true.
Like every James Bond movie, you can see the video game.
Also, I'm not 100% convinced by some of the acting in John Wick either. I think that's the other criticism I have.
Well, I think Keanu Reeves plays a straight bat pretty much throughout.
I mean, yeah, but he's just playing a grumpy dude, really. So he doesn't have a huge amount of facial expression to go with.
It's not so much grumpy; it's more troubled past and world weary. I'd say.
Yeah, but everyone else around him, I think the acting's a bit woolly. I don't know.
Ian McShane is excellent.
I would disagree.
Ian McShane is the guy who runs the hotel.
Yeah.
I think he plays that brilliantly.
No, I think he just plays himself, to be honest.
Sort of like grand old owner who's been established there for years. He's very assured and confident in what he does. And then even the receptionist, who's very clean-cut, straight edge.
I like the receptionist. Yeah, I like him. He cracks me up. Yeah, I like him. But no, I think Ian McShane just played himself, to be honest, or played just any other character he's played before.
And you know what I like? He doesn't get tied up in pointless love interests. You know how you have...
what? I'm going to agree with you.
Love interest for the sake of love interest. There's none of that. He's not interested.
I have to say, I agree. It's nice not to have that just chucked in for no good reason. Yeah. So no, points to John Wick for that one.
Yeah. Now, I'm not going to advocate that this is the greatest story ever told. I think it's more of a collection of incredible scenes and set pieces and awesome moments put together with a storyline which I accept and I'm happy enough with.
Yeah, I think the storyline is simple enough, and it's just a good old action film that you can put on, watch, and sort of enjoy.
It's one of those things I can watch it, I can enjoy it, and that's all I really want from it.
Yeah. You don't expect too much from it.
I'm not looking for high-level art here. I'm looking to see Keanu Reeves, destroy some fools. It's like, look at that bottom right picture. He is riding a horse while shooting a guy in the head.
I mean, don't you?
That's just... I mean, tell me that's not a cool movie.
Yeah. I remember when that trailer was released and everyone was talking about the horse scene. They're like, oh my God, we're going to go watch it just for that horse scene. But yeah.
So no, I'd say overall solid movie, enjoyable movie. I will watch the fourth. I'm
not sure if I will. I will probably watch it at some point. I would give it this just an above average. I still feel disappointed by it. That's my personal view. On the rating system, I maybe give it, I would personally give it about 43 dead dogs out of 55. Okay, you've gone quite high. 43. But I really enjoy them. So I'd say 43 dead dogs out of 55. I'm going to go with 35 out of 55. All right. So actually not that far behind me. I just don't think it lives up to the hype. So it's more... It's not so much the movie itself, it's more the attitude around the movie. Yeah, and like I think I've just felt like because I think it could be so much more. That's all I think. Okay. Whereas I feel like it gives me everything I want from it. Yeah, you see, the thing is, the way I would rate it is I can't give it higher because I don't think I would watch it again. I think once is enough. See, I could happily watch them 10 times. Oh yeah, well, you just love Keanu. I do love Keanu. Right. I think we've discussed the John Wick movies there. I'd say more positive than negative. Yeah. Happy days. Right. Until the fourth one. Well, that'd be awful if they ruined it by bringing out. There is a chance. You know what they're like. The longer these things go on for, the higher the chance. I like to think it's in safe hands. But I said the same way. I said the same with Game of Thrones. Exactly. Thanks everyone for watching. Please remember to like, please remember to subscribe, and let us know any other movies you want us to review. Yeah, any we'll get right on requests. Yep. Yeah. Happy days. Right. Thanks everyone. See you soon. Later. Bye. Bye.